Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome to Geology Concepts YouTube channel. I'm Vaibhav and I'm going to discuss with you today is triple junction. A very important topic, a very misunderstood topic as per the examinations are concerned. So let us understand this triple junction, what is it and its stability, that how you determine whether a triple junction is stable or unstable. I will also discuss with you a short concept of olacogen. I will tell you what is olacogen because it is somewhat related to triple junctions, and in the end I will give you an exercise to find out about a triple junction, whether it's stable or unstable, which you can let me know in the comment section. So let's get started. Triple junction is basically a point which signifies or which denotes the meeting point of three or more plates. Now first and foremost confusion here is that there must be only three plates, but that is not true. There can be multiple plates also, but that triple junction will not be stable, or they will finally end up getting in a triple junction or in a three plate meeting point type of orientation. So whether there are 4 or 5 plates, they will make multiple triple junctions. So in last or ultimately there will be one point which is actually associated with 3 such plates. Now stability in a physical sense signifies the movement of this triple junction. Like once this triple junction has formed, 3 plates have collided with each other at one discrete point. Now this point must be fixed relative to all these 3 motions. So if it is fixed, if it is not moving relatively, then it is said to be stable, and once it starts to move, it might get unstable. So that is how stability goes, and we will also understand it using all the 3 type of motions that can occur while plates are moving. So before understanding how we find out the stability, I would like you to show these real examples from across the world. So first one on the left is an Mendocino triple junction between 3 plates, that is Pacific, Gorda and North American plate. There are 2 strike slip motions and 1 subduction zone. So this is FFT type of triple junction. And on the right you have Rodriguez triple junction, which is from the Indian Ocean, in which African plate, Antarctic plate and Indian Ocean come together to form this Rodriguez triple junction. And all of these 3 motions are actually spreading ridges because these are in the middle of this ocean. So these are few examples where you can find the triple junction, and now we will look at how we will identify or determine whether this triple junction or any of these triple junctions are stable or not. So to understand that, we need to analyze the orientation of various type of plate boundaries. So 3 possibilities are there. One is that of trench, which is denoted by T. One is that of a transform fault, which is denoted by F, and another one is the spreading center, which is denoted by ridge because it is spreading ridge, so R. So first one is trench, in which there is one overriding plate and another one oceanic plate gets subducted below that. So as you can see in this example, A is the subducting plate and B is the overriding plate. How do we know that? Because of these arrows. Wherever these lines point, they always point towards the overriding plate. So this is one analysis. Now they are having this type of motion, we can say sort of northeast southwest motion with respect to each other, and this is how this subduction is taking place. Now we need to consider 2 main points here. One is the relative motion between them, relative motion, that is the relative velocity with respect to each other, and second is the relative position. So they are somewhat related to each other, so they are also be clubbed as one, but anyways we'll find out. So first thing, we need to place A and B in respect to each other. If I put A here, I need to position B with respect to A. So if I have fixed A here, now if I'm standing here and I have fixed my position, I'm not moving, so with respect to me, B will always be moving in the southwest direction. Hence I will always see B going southwest, so I will put B in the southwest direction to that of A. So this is the relative positioning which we have done for A and B, that is 2 plates. Now another important or crucial point is the relative velocity. So you have to draw a velocity vector. So three type of motions are going to take place, whether trench, transform fault or a ridge. So their velocity vector must be drawn, and if that triple junction is stable, so their sum, the relative velocity sum of all these three motions must equal to 0, because that is what vector analysis says, that if anything is relatively not moving, then their total sum of velocity should be 0. So that is what we are going to do, and hence we need velocity vectors for each of these plate margins. So in this case, as it is a subduction zone, and one more thing, velocity vector will always be drawn parallel to the plate margin. In whatever direction these margins are, you will always draw the velocity vector exactly parallel to that. Now the point is, on this line of connection, where do you actually plot this line parallel to actual plate margin, because there can be infinite number of possibilities. So to that you need to remember this one thing, that in case of subduction zone, you will always draw this velocity vector, which is denoted by small ab, passing through the overriding plate. Always, this is for the trench, you always draw this velocity vector parallel to this actual plate margin and passing through the overriding plate, which in this case is B. Hence you will draw this as AB passing through this point B. Now you might be wondering what these M1, M2, M3 are. These are actually analogies given by marbles, that if you were to put any marble on this plate margin, they will always move, or they will always make their motion along this plate margin if there is no relative motion between A and B. So hence these marbles should always stay on this line. So they are just representing that these are velocity vectors. So I hope it is clear how do we do that for trench. Now let us understand how do we do this for transform fault and for a ridge. Then we will combine this and solve an example so that we can get a better understanding. Now in this case, again we have two plates A and B, which are having this relative motion of a transform fault between each other. And if I were to say, this is a right lateral or dextral type of strike slip motion, in which A is moving right with respect to B and B is moving left, or we can say northeast with respect to B or with respect to us, and B is going towards southwest, as was in the case of the last trench. So in this case, again you put any arbitrary point, let's say A again here. Now you will put B in a southwest direction, again for the same reason, because if you stand here and you stay static, then B will always be in the southwest direction with respect to you. So hence you are plotting B in the southwest direction. Now the change in this case is that of the plate margin and also the velocity vector. So as I have said, this is applicable to every type of motion, that your velocity vector will always be parallel to the plate margin. In whatever direction this plate margin is, your velocity vector will always be parallel to that. In this case it is restricted because you just join these 2 points and that will be the actual velocity vector. You just draw a line, the AB velocity vector, connecting these 2 points of A and B representing 2 plates, right? So this is a simpler one, that you just draw a straight line between these 2 points and that will be its velocity vector. Now in the third and last case, that is of the spreading ridge, you have again 2 plates A and B, in which both of them are getting diverged. So again the motion is same. A is in the northeast direction with respect to B, so we have drawn it like we have drawn in the previous cases, and again the velocity vector AB will be parallel to this plate margin, which is in this case is almost northwest. So you have to draw again a northwest line, but now the same question, where do you draw this velocity vector, because you again have infinite number of cases between A and B. So in this case of ridge, you always draw this velocity vector line passing through exactly in between of A and B. So then you can actually pinpoint this line. So you just draw a velocity vector passing through the midpoint of A and B and you're good to go. So this is how you actually draw these two important things. One is the relative position using the relative velocity. Now let us understand this concept using an example, of very simple example of a RRR triple junction, because there are 3 plates which are meeting at this one common point, which is its triple junction. Now all of these relative motions are that of ridge. So it is an RRR kind of triple junction. So let us find out whether this triple junction is stable or not. So what we have studied till now is that we will draw the velocity vectors, and we will see if all those velocity vectors, all these three velocity vectors, intersect at one common point, that is their sum of velocity of AC, velocity of AB and velocity of BC is equal to 0. Hence they will be a stable triple junction. So let us find out. So again, the concept is same. You can arbitrarily put a point A anywhere. So if you have put A here, let's say, suppose with respect to A, your B is in northeast direction, so you have put B here, and from the same point A, your C is in the east direction. But yeah, you need to be sure that you do not put C before B, right? You cannot put C here, because you have to check the relative motion between B and C also. So in this case, C is actually moving southeast with respect to B, so hence C must have been here. So these are the three relative positions of A, B, C. Now that you have put them relatively to each other, you have to draw the velocity vectors. Now if you remember, in the case of ridge, it's a very simple case. You just draw a velocity vector parallel to this plate margin and passing through this. So if we talk about A and B, and you just draw this velocity vector passing through the midpoint of AB, so in this case this will be the velocity vector. In all the cases, because these are ridges, you will just draw the velocity vector parallel to their respective plate margins, passing through the midpoints of their relative position line. So in the case of AC, it will pass through the midpoint of AC line, and in case of BC, it will pass through the midpoint of BC. And hence, if you look closely, they all intersect at one common point, which is on this AC line, and hence this is a stable triple junction. So this is a very simple technique by which you can find out about any orientation or any type of triple junction that is going to be formed. So this was a very ideal case, because no triple junction forms in such a sleek fashion. There are always ambiguities in reality. So but anyways, the concept is still applicable. You can always apply the concept. And also one important thing, that RRR triple junction is the one which is stable in all of its orientation. Even if A, B, C changes their positions relatively and still form a triple junction, that will be a stable triple junction always. So this is one kind of information I want to give to you. Now I hope I made the point clear that how will you identify, though you will have a question in the end to solve for yourself, and also ask me doubts about anything. Now I would like to mention another important thing, that is Olakogen, which is actually sometimes asked in examination also, and which is less understood sometimes. So I just wanted to clear this doubt here. So it's a very simple type of formation of an Olakogen. See, what happens is, there is one stable continent which gets this dome or a bulge due to plume or due to magmatic activity which is happening below this continent. So this will bulge and it will stay as it is for a period, but it will lose its strength, and eventually it will generate these cracks. These cracks will get bigger and they will initiate such type of rifts. Now this is the most stable type of orientation in which they will split. So they will form a triple junction and they will share their load by splitting into rifts. So there will be actually 3 rifts. But what happens in this case, if this was fine, if the distribution was fine, they would have generated a very good triple junction of 3 rifts. But what happens is, on any 2 of these 3 rifts, the motion is actually quite fast, so they develop the oceans, or they just rift quite large, and because of that the third one ceases, right? So the motion on the third one ceases and it actually fails. So that is why we call it as a failed rift or failed arm of a rift. So, and that is actually called as Olakogen. So this is how it forms, if anyone didn't know about it. So this will help you. Now in the last, I have this exercise for you to solve, and let me know the answer in the comment section. You need to tell me the stability of this triple junction, right? whether this is stable or not. This is, you can see, it's a transform fault, so this is F, this is also F, and this is a ridge, so it's R F F triple junction. Do study triple junctions, they are very important. There are so many triple junctions, because you see there are 3 possibilities, there can be 27 such combinations, and there are such type of combinations, but all of them are not possible, but some of them are possible and some of them are stable also, so they do exist. Okay, we have seen the example as well. So just study these and discuss anything with me, or anything you have to ask, just let me know, right? So if you like the video, share it, subscribe to our channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and please do solve this exercise. All the best. Thank you.